Hey guys, what's up, man? 945 here. Welcome back to another video. Um, in today's video, I'm making part two of my One Piece review. Now, since it's been a long while since I was able to record, I've actually watched a lot more One Piece, than I would have, otherwise segmented it. But so this is going to be kind of a bigger, more encompassing review of episodes 62 all the way to 195. Um, with obviously keeping in mind that I skipped all the filler and I have started doing so when watching One Piece. Um, let's get into it. So starting off, I thought that the arcs like Little Garden and Whiskey Peak and all those were really slow leading up to Alabasta. Drum Island was good. I really liked Drum Island and the introduction of Chopper. I really loved Chopper's backstory. Um, but then then we get to Alabasta, and my God, Alabasta is easily my favorite arc so far. Because it just does everything right. It massively ups the scale of the entire worldwide thing by introducing furthering the concept of the seven warlords of the sea. And I think that Crocodile is the best villain so far, and one of my favorite animated villains of all time. Um, excuse my dog barking. Um, and because I just think that he is incredibly menacing. He is powerful and like at least compared to any other villain so far, he's really feels like he really makes it feel like the situation could be a completely hopeless one. Um, just because of how much more powerful he is than Luffy and the other Straw Hats. Um, I also really like the introduction of Robin to the crew in this arc, and I think that her entire character and also outfits are just really cool. Um, I also really love Vivi as a side character. I think that that is really interesting. Um, and I just think that the character development that she goes through in wanting to defend her kingdom and also this idea of also the themes that this arc plays on of false heroism and in like in um false politics and false political figures with unknown motivations. I love that trope, and I think the way that they execute it in Alabasta is absolutely masterful. I also really like the theming of it being a desert kingdom because that's something unique that I haven't seen before in One Piece, and I really like that. Um, I also really, really liked the introduction of Ace. I thought he was an extremely entertaining character, and I also really enjoyed his powers and finding out that he was Luffy's older brother. I thought that was extremely entertaining to find out. And I loved their chemistry on screen. I thought it was great. Um, and I think that the reveal that he's connected to the Whitebeard pirates, I think is super interesting. Um, and that is really a detail that really helps like up the scale of the world essentially. Um, Now I have as I've like been consuming more anime content on YouTube, I have heard of a thing called like this from One Piece like fans like the moment that made you like love One Piece. Or just kind of like left you silent and it was like, wow, holy shit. For me, that moment came during Alabasta when Crocodile reveals himself to be the head of Rogue Corps and then just mercilessly decapitates Mr. Three. Like, that for me was such a just terrifying image that really like showed the power that Crocodile had. And I think that like that plus what that meant in terms of his role in the growing scale of One Piece was just what made me like, wow, I really love this now. Um, so for me, that was my moment for that. But there are so many absolutely incredible moments in this arc. Um, and like one that's basically on par with the one I just talked about is the one where at the very end when they're about to leave the ship, they all hold up the back of their arms and you hear the main theme playing and I oh wow that was amazing. Also I love the final battle between Luffy and Crocodile. That's the best fight in the show so far. Um and I also really liked the character like of Vivi's father. I don't remember what his name is. Um, but I thought that his character was really powerful in his motivations. Um, and um, and just like his desire to do things correctly. I really liked that. Um, and there were just so many emotional cliffhangers in this arc. It was insane. Um, so yeah, that's Alabasta. I loved it so much. And then moving right along to Skypiea. Um, when you first start out with the Jaya part of this arc, I think it's really entertaining. Um, my favorite episode in this entire arc, and one of my favorite One Piece episodes, period, is the episode where the world government is deciding on a new warlord, and you see um, the introduction of so many major characters. I mean, we get to see what Whitebeard looks like. We get under a more major understanding of what Shanks's role is and how powerful he is. Get introduced to Don Flamingo, uh, another one I can't quite remember, another warlord, Hawkeye Mihawk. And we get to see him again as well. Um, and then there's the most craziest reveal of all, the fact that like when Luffy was in the bar with Bellamy, the one that sat next to him and gave the amazing speech was actually Blackbeard, which blew my brains out. That was insane to find out, and the introduction of the members of Blackbeard's crew was crazy. Um, And that singular episode really, really like upped the scale of the world overall. And I really liked the character of Bellamy as well. I thought he was entertaining for the little bit before he got completely destroyed by Luffy. Um, uh, so moving on to the actual Skypiea part. I think that this art's biggest strength by far is its imagination, because I think that there are a lot of really wacky and creative concepts that were thrown in here, and I think that it really works because of the wackiness and like creativeness of the overall premise of it being Sky Island. So I think that that idea, that base idea allowed for a lot of creative ideas that really meshed well together. And I think that's easily this arc's biggest strength because those aspects were extremely enjoyable to watch. Where I do think this arc lacks a little bit is I feel like there were certain parts where episodes tended to drag a fair bit, particularly in how long some of the fights lasted. But I did really like the ordeals and the priests and everything like that. Um, I also feel like, especially toward the latter half end with the Golden Belt, more centric part, I feel like it tends to transition out of things too quickly. So what do I mean by that? I feel like sometimes in certain episodes, like some perspectives following various characters tend to lose a little bit of their tension because um they tend to follow because they tend to switch to a different perspective too quickly when I was already becoming invested in the first one. But that's kind of a more minor nitpick, and it doesn't happen as much. It's just something that I tended to notice. I thought that Eneru, not obviously not nearly as good of a villain as Crocodile, but I thought that he was an extremely entertaining villain. I really liked his powers of lightning and this idea that he was a god. I thought that was really, really interesting. And I think it worked quite well. Um, and I really enjoyed the fight between Luffy and Eneru. Thought that was a great fight. Um, I also really, really liked uh, the whole concept of the Shandorians in general. I thought that was a really unique idea. I really liked how it was based off this like theming of like like how it took inspiration of like what happened to the American Indians versus like colonizers. And I thought the backstory between Noland and Calgary was really, really interesting, and the way that was kind of like carried on and brought forward as the people united at the end. I thought that was amazing. And that like core conflict being resolved was very satisfying and really, really good plot writing, I thought. Um, I think that about covers my thoughts on Alabasta and Skypiea together. Uh, I skipped Long Ring Long Land because I heard people say it wasn't good and I didn't really want to watch it. So right now I have just started Water 7 and wow, it's I'm not going to spoil anything because I am going to make a review part for Water 7 and Enies Lobby probably. But WoW is so good. Um, it's fantastic. It's like it's already beaten Skype in terms of like the quality of work, and I'm like 11 episodes into I'm on episode like 240. I don't quite remember what episode I'm on. I have to check my Netflix, but that's not really important. I'm a decent way through it right now, and wow, it's fantastic.
So yeah, I'll obviously making a separate review part whenever that comes out. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.